Operation Epic Fury.
Tonight, the world just got the message. President Donald Trump is not playing the old Washington game anymore. He said it plainly. America's in this fight because we cannot let lunatics get a nuclear weapon. Now we've learned hostilities with Iran have officially ended under a ceasefire, but don't let the talking heads fool you. This is not retreat. This is not confusion. This is Trump forcing a new order into place, punishing weak allies, tightening negotiations, and redrawing America's position across the globe. The question now is simple. Who stands with the United States and who gets left behind? Now, this matters to every American family because energy prices, military readiness, terror threats, and your tax dollars are all tied to what happens next. If Iran gets boxed in, that protects U.S. troops, protects shipping lanes, and tells every rogue regime on earth that Trump means what he says. If Europe keeps expecting America to do the heavy lifting while they complain from the sidelines, then why should your family keep paying for their security blankets? It's exactly why reports say 5,000 U.S. troops are being withdrawn from Germany after criticism of Trump's Iran operation. Good. America First means our men and women in uniform are not global babysitters. And while the ceasefire pauses active combat, the danger's still real. The U.S. Embassy in London is warning Americans in the U.K. to use increased caution because a terrorist attack is considered highly likely. So yes, this is bigger than just a battlefield. It's about whether America leads from strength or gets milked by freeloaders and threatened by fanatics. And if you want to understand how President Trump is securing American power for the long haul, you need to follow this minerals story right now. This is just breaking from the White House. They've announced over $30 billion to secure America's critical mineral supply chains and named a specific Alaskan project as a key strategic asset for U.S. mineral independence. And that's huge. Now, I've been to the Vizsla copper drilling site in Canada myself. I've held the core samples. And what's happening right now in Alaska, however, is bigger than most people can realize. President Trump just unveiled Project Vault. It's a $12 billion strategic mineral reserve designed to stockpile essential resources and keep America strong when global supply chains get shaky. Vizsla Copper is positioned at the center of that conversation, trading in the United States under VCUFF and in Canada as VCU.V. If you want the full picture on this America First opportunity, check the exclusive briefing, but it's only for Next News viewers. It's linked below. Check it out today before the crowd catches on. Now let's get back to the global reset that the legacy media still refuses to describe honestly. And this is the twist they don't want you focused on. The Iran ceasefire did not end Trump's pressure campaign. It proved it worked. The White House has already informed Congress that Operation Epic Fury is entering a new phase with force posture updates across select countries to counter Iran and proxy threats. That means Trump can stop active combat and still keep America's enemies boxed in. Peace through strength is not a slogan anymore, it's policy, and the rest of the world is being forced to adjust very fast. Here's President Trump down in the villages today discussing the war.
You know, we're in a war because I think you would agree we cannot let lunatics have a nuclear weapon. Do you agree? Whoa.
Donald Trump down in the villages, the crowd going wild as they do, laying out the doctrine in plain English. No nukes for a terror regime. Now the threat picture widens with U.S. Embassy in London warning Americans that a terrorist attack is highly likely, issuing the security alert, exercise increased caution in public spaces, stating a terrorist attack is highly likely. The alert comes as British authorities elevate the national terrorism threat level to severe. This is the post from the U.S. Embassy and Consulate in the United Kingdom. Security alert, U.S. Embassy, London, May 1st. Terrorist attack is highly likely. Stay alert in public spaces, including schools and hospitals. Vary your travel routes. Keep a low profile. Remain aware of your surroundings. Review personal security plans. Report social media threats and suspicious activity. Monitor local news for updates. So the London alert shows how fast the security stakes can spread beyond the battlefield. And shifting gears, Trump's also redrawing the map diplomatically as the first direct U.S. flight in years lands in Venezuela. Check this out.
Moments passengers stopping for moments after touching down in Caracas. The captain of this American Airlines flight leaned out the cockpit to wave the Venezuelan flag, signaling the first direct arrival from the U.S. in 7 years. Passengers stopping for selfies on the stairs, descending to a crowd waiting on the tarmac. The journey began just after 10 a.m. in Miami, where emotional passengers lined up at the gate.
The last time I was here in Venezuela was 18 years ago, and I'm very excited to go and see the family.
The flight crew opening the windows to wave the U.S. and Venezuelan flags, then taxiing through a water cannon salute before takeoff. This flight, the most visible sign yet of a rapid diplomatic thaw following the ouster of Venezuela's authoritarian leader, Nicolas Maduro, in January. Despite the uncertainty, for those landing in Caracas today, 7 years of grounded hopes finally coming to a historic end.
I'm taking my family back, my kids back, my grandkids back. So it's a historic day.
And that's all because of President Trump. While that Venezuela reopening signals a world being reordered under Trump, he's also sending a message to the weak-kneed allies. The fallout in Europe, 5,000 U.S. troops coming out of Germany after Berlin blasted Trump's Iran strike. It's official now. Trump withdrawing 5,000 U.S. troops from Germany after Chancellor Merz criticized 47's Iran operation. Good, tell NATO to take care of themselves. We don't need them. Here's the headline. Trump orders the withdrawal. And here's President Trump in the Oval yesterday.
Would you be considering the same thing for Spain and Italy? I mean, they haven't been exactly on board.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I probably will. Why should I? Look, why shouldn't I? Italy has not been of any help to us. And Spain has been horrible. Absolutely horrible. It's NATO. It's not even the fact that they're bad. It's one thing if they said nicely, or if they said, okay, we'll help, but the help's a little slow. But the level, and we helped them with Ukraine. They made a mess out of Ukraine, a total mess. And we helped them with Ukraine. Ukraine has nothing to do, we're an ocean apart. It has to do with them. It's like for them, it's their front door. We helped them. And Biden gave them $350 billion, which was insane. It's one of the reasons the war went on. But when we needed them, they were not there. We have to remember that. And so if we ever have a big one, because we didn't need any help with Iran. We had Iran right from the first day. It was over. It was over. And now it's even more so. We're so locked and loaded if we want to do. But we didn't need the help. And to a certain extent, I asked them, I didn't need the help, but I said, yeah, we'd love to have you help, because I wanted to see if they do it. And they, in all cases, they said, we don't want to get involved. And the amazing thing is they use the Strait of Hormuz. We don't. We don't use it. We don't need it. We have a lot of oil.
So President Trump ordering withdrawal of 5,000 troops from Germany. Europe wanted America's protection without America's leadership, and Trump isn't playing that game anymore. Back to Iran, where he's making clear the deal has to be airtight, not another swamp-built surrender that bows a few years later.
We're just winning. If it were a fight, they'd stop it. If this were a fight, they'd stop it. You know that expression? It's true. But they're not coming through with the kind of deal that we have to have, and we're going to get this thing done properly. We're not going to leave early and then have the problem arise in 3 more years.
Yep. So that was Trump drawing the line, no fake peace, no delayed disaster. Next, White House puts Congress on notice with the War Powers letter spelling out forced posture changes. Margaret Olohan knew President Trump's War Powers letter alerting Congress to changes in the United States' approach to Operation Epic Fury. Accordingly, the Department of War continues to update its force posture on the AOR in select countries as necessary and appropriate to address Iranian and Iranian proxy forces threats and to protect the United States and its partners. These changes are more fully outlined in the classified attachments in the letter. I have and will continue to direct United States Armed Forces consistent with my responsibilities pursuant to my constitutional authority to conduct United States foreign relations as Commander-in-Chief and Chief Executive. This is the official memo from the White House. So even as the administration updates lawmakers and keeps the pressure on Iran's terror machine, White House tells Congress the hostilities have officially ended after ceasefire stopped the active combat. Right there. So this is the aha moment, my friends. Trump didn't just confront Iran, he used the confrontation to sort allies from pretenders and reset America's leverage worldwide. Iran is being told there will be no fake deal, no weak paper agreement, no replay of the disasters Washington used to sell the public. Europe's being told that if they sneer at the United States' action while hiding behind our protection, they can start paying their own bill. And look what else is happening. The first direct U.S. flight in years has landed in Venezuela as that country opens after the fall of its strongman. That's what real leadership looks like. Pressure your enemies, reward alignment, expand American reach. Trump is remaking the chessboard while the establishment still thinks it's watching checkers. So here is the bottom line. President Trump took the fight to the regime that cannot be trusted with a nuclear capability, forced a ceasefire on American terms, warned Congress that the mission is shifting, not ending, and sent a crystal clear message to weak European allies that America is done carrying dead weight for free. That's strength and that's clarity, and that is America first in action. And while terror alerts rise and the world scrambles to adjust, the White House is showing exactly what leadership looks like after 4 years of failure during the previous administration. If you're sick of America being played, this is the reset you voted for. Share this report, subscribe, and comment below with a yes or no. Should President Trump pull even more troops out of countries that refuse to back the United States? And to beat big tech's suppression of our work, and to get direct messages from me to your phone when it matters most. This is the secret phone number we have set up just for you. Text raw feed to the number on the screen, 844-840-4963. That's right, I'm going to send you direct alerts to your phone from me. Also, check out the Next News merch shelf below this video. These shirts won't be here forever. Operation Epic Fury seems to be winding down, so get your collector's item while you can. Remember, folks, stay bold, stay loud, and stay America first.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.